Hey guys, thanks for joining us for Pro Valley Media's Market Like a Pro series. My name is Joe Relas, your friendly neighborhood graphic engineer, and I'll be your moderator for today. Today we have a special treat for you. Joining us today is Pro Valley Media's own Digital and Print Marketing Director, Ric Cruz Jr. How are you doing today, Mr. Rick?
Good, good. Talking to you from my office while you're in your office, but we're here practicing social distancing. So yeah, we're here. We're good.
Absolutely. You got your mask?
I do. I have it here. I took it off for this special occasion for you guys, but yes, I do have a mask. I have to keep practicing social distancing. Super important.
Absolutely. All right. So from my understanding, you're going to go over some different topics today. What kind of topics are we going to touch upon today?
Great question. We have a lot of information we got to go through, you guys. But first of all, let me go ahead and share the screen. That way everyone can see this. Let me see if you guys can see that.
Awesome.
Perfect. Okie doke. So today's topic is, it's about the obvious, what we talked about. It's restaurant print and digital marketing. And we have a lot of things to talk to you guys about restaurants. I mean, obviously we do a lot of different things for restaurants. We offer printing and direct mail and postcards and menus. But the big thing that everyone is talking about right now during this, COVID-19 situation that everyone is in is talking about to-go menus, the hot things that everyone is looking for right now. Obviously, because dining rooms are closed, some of the things that we're focusing more on right now are, branding different products like your to-go bags. One of the things that we offer restaurants is stickers for their bags. That way, when their bags are not just so plain, they can actually have a custom branded bag that looks really, really good. And that's something that's been super important to maintain that brand. Even though we're going through this crisis, it's still important to know that you guys are still out there. So that's something that's super important, the stickers. The next thing that goes with that.
I apologize. And that would be for like the to-go things, all the people that are doing the curbside delivery and things like that?
That's correct. So basically, as you know, when someone gives a bag out, let's take McDonald's, for example. On McDonald's, the bags are branded. Now, I know most restaurants, to have branded bags like that, or would cost a pretty penny. So in lieu of that, what we're doing is we're putting stickers on the bags or even on the plates. So that way, when they open up the plate, they can see that it's a sticker from Pro Value Media, or in this case, a sticker from your restaurant. And that's kind of the idea that you need to be showing out there. Again, continuing that brand. And again, the other thing that goes with that, something that goes very well with that would be your to-go menus.
And what sort of like information do you need from most clients when doing these to-go menus or the labels or whatever it may be?
Great question. So when it comes to menus, it's really, really simple. And it's something that we're recommending to all restaurants. Obviously, because of what's going on at the moment, we don't recommend you putting your full menu because you're probably not going to be able to accommodate your customers with that full menu. So to start off with, we would need your logo. Second from there, if you have any pictures, send them all to us. The second part would be basically anything having to do with the plates that you're selling, whether it being a special, a parrillada, some type of family platter, or whatever it may be. But basically, those are the things that we need to start off with. And of course, the most important thing that we need and that we need when it comes to the menus is your contact information. So it might seem very obvious, but you'll be surprised more often than not how people sometimes overlook to put things like a contact number. It's happened several times where we receive some, as you know, you receive some files and you're ready to go to print and you realize that, hey, there's no phone number. Like
no phone number, no address, whatever the case may be. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So before printing, and I don't have to tell everybody else, but because you know this, but I'll let everyone else who doesn't know, is that yes, you definitely need to check that artwork before you print it out, especially because, well, again, how they're going to call you if they don't know who it's from, number one, and where they're going to call. So to-go menus are super important right now. The second thing that we also offer right now is because of this, even before this, we've always done things really, really fast. So once the artwork is approved, we can have things ready for you guys pretty much same day, if not next day, which is really, really neat because, again, right now things are changing so fast and you need these things to be able to market yourself properly.
We all know that during this new quarantine period that the fastest way to get your message out is through digital marketing or pretty much any other social media platform. What would you add to that for your clients?
Good question. And Joe, you know this, that we offer social media management right now for any clients. Now, social media right now is very, very crucial right now to get out there. If restaurants are not on there right now, I encourage you to start that page and start putting out something in there to let your audience know that you're still around, let them know what your hours are. It's super important to start. And so social media is very crucial right now. Now, you don't have to start perfect. I mean, the first thing you start will not be perfect, but as you go along, you will get better with it. So the important thing right now is to start with social media. Now, we do offer social media services. And like I mentioned to you, it is very, very important what we do. And what we do when it comes to social media is pretty much we can go in there and help you manage the account, generate content for you guys. You guys get an account executive, and that account executive is going to pretty much be with you that time while they're talking about what you need. So the important thing here is having communication with the customer, letting them know that this is what's going to happen. Or when they tell you, hey, this is what you need, that guys can put it out quickly, especially in times like this, because it happened during this crisis started happening where our clients were calling us and letting us know, hey, you got to put this menu up now, take off this menu and put this menu up because we're not offering that right now. Or, you know what, change your store hours. And again, this just goes back to our earlier point that it's super important to be on social media, to have that message out there of letting your customers know, because they might think that you're open because, you know, whatever might be the case. But the reality is that you might be closing a little earlier or even opening up, staying out later, you know, and your customers need to know that. The last thing you want to be doing is waiting at the restaurant, waiting for the phone to ring when nobody knows that you're there or not there, you know. So that's super, super important, you know. Go ahead.
And if I may ask, what would be like the best social media platforms that that the clients can use? What would be the best target media platforms?
You know, that's a great question, and it honestly it really depends on the industry. But in this case, we're talking about restaurants. So the two go-to platforms that I would recommend for this would be number one is Facebook. It is the largest network out there, social media platform that's out there. And the second would be Instagram. Instagram is really, really hot. They do work differently, but I would recommend starting with whatever you have first. If you're used to using Instagram first, start with that one. If you're used going Facebook, use Facebook. There is other platforms like Twitter and TikTok and Snapchat. And don't get me wrong, those apps definitely work. But if you're not using them right now, I would not recommend starting to use them at the moment, unless you already mastered the other two platforms. So definitely Facebook and Instagram to answer your question. Sorry, ran a little long there, but yeah, Facebook and Instagram, that would be the best ones to start with.
Okay, and what kind of services would a company such as Pro Valley Media assist with in placing things on social media?
Good question. So it goes back to like what I mentioned to you. It's a matter of talking to the restaurant and letting them know, or asking them what it is that you're going to be doing, whether it be specials or links to online ordering, or even just a quick thank you or a quick notice saying that we're open or that we're delivering. In some cases, during other times, we would use them also for recruitment. So anytime you wanted to put a now hiring ad, we would post those things for the restaurant to be able to hire waiters or delivery drivers or something like that. And I'm sure that's something that's going to be continuing to be a big role later on. But yeah, there's different things that we can do. It just really depends on what the client's objective is.
Awesome. All right, so the hot topic right now is online ordering, which has been very crucial for all restaurants during this pretty much this new era of staying at home. How would you expand on that for our viewers?
Great question. It definitely is a loaded question, but I can definitely tackle that for you. So as you mentioned, yes, because of this quarantine and stay-at-home ordinance that we have, restaurants are obviously limited to their capacity to do, to put out orders, so they no longer can have customers dining in, as everybody knows. So in lieu of that, everyone to pretty much pivot and keep going and operating is using different things like to go and pick up. And now you can only get so far with a phone line. Eventually you will get to a point where you're just saturated with phone calls and you won't be able to get them all. Hopefully you're in that position that you have way too many phone calls and you need an extra line or something like that. But the other alternative to go there would be going through your own online ordering website. Now, we have online ordering service that allows you to use your own website to put your own menu on there, and basically, you won't need any app or anything like that. All you need is just basically, your mobile phone, and which everybody has pretty much, and with that mobile phone, basically that's all they need. But the good thing about this is that the online ordering is you don't need an app. You're going to use your website and any device, a tablet, a desktop, a mobile phone. You just tell them, hey, go to myrestaurant.com, whatever that may be. And then after that, that's it. It's pretty simple. So that's pretty much how it is. I mean, as far as how it works, honestly, it is as simple as it sounds. A customer will visit your website, and after that, they'll place an order online. And from there on, basically, it'll pop up. You'll get a notification on your end, on the restaurant end, that an order's been placed. The money gets deposited into your account the next day, and that's it. Everyone's happy, So there is an option in there so that people can either select pickup or delivery, depending on if you offer delivery. I know most restaurants at the moment are offering that free delivery option, but again, that's totally up to you. But it really is that simple. I mean, it's just, we recommend starting off with a smaller menu to get started first, and then after that, we can expand onto something a little larger.
Okay, and by smaller menu, do you mean like 10 items? Would that be a fair amount of items?
10 items, we don't have to limit it to 10, but 10 is a good number to start with. Okay. We know some menus can be very, very big, but like as I mentioned before, right now is definitely the time to trim down that menu and focus on your best sellers. Focus on your best sellers, which are going to sell the most or the fastest, and also using larger family portions. That's what I see most restaurants, and talking to all these restaurants that we our clients and friends that we have. Pretty much that's what we're seeing, that everyone is going with larger portions. Of course, there is an exception to the rule. There are some clients that are doing better than others. Some restaurants are doing better than others. But I would start off with a smaller, more limited menu. 10's a good starting point. More than 20, I think, would be a little pushing it. But, I mean, that's something we can accommodate. Absolutely.
Okay, and earlier you did mention that no app was needed. By that, I just want to expand on that for our viewers, that by no app, that means your customers can just go to the website and check out your menu and then order through there. The customers do not need to download any app to their phone to use this. On your end, though, you would have that app. Is that correct?
As a matter of fact, thank you for clarifying that, because you're right. Your customers do not need an app. All they need to do is go into the website. However, on the back end, the restaurant end, you will need an app to basically see the online order coming in. And we provide a tablet for that, or you can download it on your phone, whichever is easier for you guys. But we have found that having that second mobile device acts as a backup for just in case something else is not paying attention or someone else is busy. So we encourage, the restaurant to install it on several devices just so that they can have that extra backup. But as a courtesy, what we do also when their first order comes in is we also give them a call to make sure that they know that they have an app, that they have an order in place. It does happen that we know everyone gets busy and you might overlook it.
Oh, awesome. All right, and Rick, we do get asked this question quite often by our clients, and that is if they already have an internal POS, point of sale system at their business, can you integrate the online ordering to that system?
That's a very good question, and you're absolutely right. That happens, that they ask us that question a lot. And the short answer is yes, we can integrate, but it depends on the different, on the equipment that you have already. Currently, we offer integration only right now for people that are using Clover, Square, or Shopify POSs. If you have those POSs right now, in your store, you're eligible to go into online ordering. And actually, because of you have those POSs, we're able to launch your website and your online ordering system a lot faster than we would when we're building it from scratch. And part of the reason is because those systems already have that service already integrated. It's just a matter of enabling it, and then we'll take care of the rest. We'll grab that code and embed it into your website. So again, this is just nerd talk talking, but still, we'll get that code and embed it into your website so that you won't have to worry about it. And the good thing about using your own POS, if you have a Clover system, is that when you update things on your POS, it'll automatically get updated to your website. So you don't have to worry about having to manage two different menus or prices, if you will. So all you have to worry about is updating it once, and after that, anything on your website will reflect there. So again, Shopify, Square, and Clover, those are the three platforms that we can currently integrate to. But if you don't have those, again, the solution that we talked about earlier is a perfect offline solution that we offer. That offline solution, like I mentioned, it would be very similar to someone phoning it in. If someone would phone it in, what you would do next is go to your POS and you type in and you punch in what they ordered over the phone. So if you don't have one of those systems, you can still do that. One thing I wanted to touch on that's super important right now is that right now I think restaurants need every available channel possible, whether it being an app or an online ordering or using social media or Facebook or anything like that. And it's important to figure out where your customers are, because you just don't know right now. Right now, yes, they can reach you through the phone, but like I mentioned to you earlier, if there is no social media or any contact, let them know that you guys are open, or even a banner for outside to say, hey, we're open, our drive-thru's open, call it in, visit our website. If there is no communication, they won't know to call you. And that's going to be problem number one, right? So that I think is probably one of the first things that I would mention is again, you need to communicate to your customers what you're doing, if you're staying open, what your menu is, and what your hours are.
To show some sort of presence.
Exactly. You've heard that old quote. If a tree falls in the woods and nobody hears it, did it really fall? And I think it applies perfectly here. Just because you're doing all these specials and all this effort that you're putting into it, if you don't tell anybody about it, it's all for nothing.
And one question we get asked quite a lot from our customers is exactly how fast would it take to build a whole website for the client?
Wow, that really depends. And it depends on a lot of things, but to be honest, if we have all the information that we need, we do have an onboarding process that we have, but if we have all the information that we need, we can launch it in about 3 to 4 business days. Sometimes even further. Like I mentioned, if you already have a certain POSs, a Clover or a Square, we can definitely launch it much faster than that. But on average, about 3 to 4 business days. Again, we recommend starting off with a small menu, the smaller the better, so we can launch faster for you guys. And as the months keep going or the days keep going, later on we can slowly start adding more and more items to it.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. And Rick, for all our customers out there, as you may know, like you touched upon it earlier, knowing where you're located and contact information is very important. So what would you tell the customers about that?
Great question. I just put it on the screen for everybody to see, but just in case you can't see, maybe because it might be too small, it might be on your mobile devices or whatever it may be. But the fastest way is obviously by phone. You can reach us 723-0224. But we're also available on Facebook. We're also on Instagram and on LinkedIn. So you can feel free to message us there. Pretty much just drop us a line. We can schedule a phone call or even a Zoom conference. That Zoom conference is something that we've been doing a lot because we can do it pretty much at any time. And I know that everyone's going to have questions, and it's important to know, having that face-to-face interaction to know what those questions, so I can answer those questions for you guys, whatever they may be. And it's a quick 5-10 minute phone call to see what it is that you guys need to get started. And after that, I can tell you more or less how long it's going to take, more or less. But for the most part, like I mentioned, it's something that you can give us a call whenever you guys have the time for it. Again, the number is 956-723-0224. You can also email us at info@provaluemedia.com. But yeah, pretty much just give us a call whenever you guys are ready.
All right, and thank you very much for sharing that information. And you know, right now, during these times of quarantine and staying at home, I know a lot of people aren't going out. But just to let you know, the office is still open, just limited hours, from 10 to 6.
Absolutely, and you're absolutely right. We are available from 10 to 6. Our lobby is currently semi-open. No, it's actually, it is open, but it's by appointment. So if you are going to come in, just let us know that we can be expecting you, number one. And of course, we'll have that hand sanitizer ready for you guys so you guys can come in and we can sit down and talk.
Awesome. Thank you.
No, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Rick, for taking the time to sit down with us and talk to us regarding everything. Just really quickly, do you have any other last words of wisdom for us?
Sure. Some things I'd like to mention, like I mentioned before, it's important to get started right now. If you haven't already, get started, whether that means start working on a new menu or taking some time to step back and look at what you need to do to launch, you know, whatever it may be, whether it being a delivery service, a brand new family platter menu, or just a whole brand new online website with an online ordering capabilities. Those things do take time, and it's important to just kind of step back and see what it is that you guys currently have in place so that you can see what you need to launch the next step, you know, whatever it may be. You know, it's important. Like I mentioned, it can happen that you already may be equipped for some of these things. It's just a matter of enabling a service or something like that. Now, a lot of these services, some of these services, example, you might be able to do it yourself. And if you need help with that, let me know. I mean, we understand that some people might want to take it upon themselves to do it, and by all means do so. The important thing here is to get started doing something. You know, we're all in this together. So if you use our services, great. And if you don't, you know, at least now you know that there is a path to get started on this. You know, so online ordering is within reach.
Awesome. Again, thank you very much. And I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you.
They have a good one. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.